Hi, boys and girls. I hope that you had a great weekend, and I hope that you are ready to start week 2 of our official digital learning. I absolutely loved getting to hear a lot of the things that you had to say about the Constitution last week. We had some really neat discussions where you actually were able to comment back and forth with each other, which was awesome to see. I think that helps to kind of keep our whole classroom community going. And you had a lot of really awesome things that you said that you learned, and your type 2s really showed that. So I thought that it was a great week of learning with you. So if you remember, we learned about how the Constitution was a set of laws and rules that our founding fathers, the people who kind of helped to create our government a long, long time ago, they created. And they created it because they didn't like how our government was going, and they wanted it to be fair and free. And that is pretty much why, because of the Constitution, that is why we are allowed to do a lot of the things that we are. So one of the things, if you remember in the Constitution, in the article that we read, it talked about one of the things of the Constitution being it created the 3 branches of government. And that is part of what they did. They created 3 sections of government. And that is what we are going to be learning about this week. We're going to be learning about the 3 branches of government. So you should have already accomplished your type 1 writing for today. And the question was, what would you do as president? So if you became the president, whether it be today or someday in the future, what would you do? Would you keep old laws or create new ones? And now, obviously, we know the president can't just make any law he wants. However, if you had the power and you were able to make anything happen, what laws would you create? So you should have accomplished your type 1 writing already. If you didn't, just pause this and go ahead back and do that. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what you have to say. So I did my type 1. And I said what I would do as president. Now, I did complete sentences. Remember, you do not need to do complete sentences for type 1. It's just brainstorming. It's a list. So I said I would keep the law that allows everyone to vote. I love that anyone can vote over the age of, 18, as long as you're a U.S. citizen. It doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, what race you are allowed to vote, which I greatly appreciate. And that wasn't always a law. I would work on trying to help poor people get on their feet. I would work on laws making education even better. There are always constantly laws that are changing for education, and laws that continue to help us as teachers, and that continue to help you as students. So I would continue to do that. And I don't know why this got deleted. But number 4, which isn't there for some reason, number 4 said I would keep the law that bans segregation, that does not allow segregation. And we learned a lot about segregation in our unit on Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks and all of that. We learned what segregation was, and I would definitely keep those laws. Remember, they fought for those laws, those civil rights leaders, and I would most definitely keep those laws. And I would try to help everyone get good health care. So those are just some of the things that I would do if I became president someday, which is not in my goal set at all. I'm good being a teacher. So I am looking forward to seeing what you had to say about what you would try to do. And, some of your laws may be similar to other people's. Some laws may be totally different. And you may have just chosen laws that you want to keep, that you think are really good laws. There may be laws that you want to create that have not even been thought of yet. That is the benefit of having different presidents, because not every president thinks the same, and not every president cares about the same things. So that's kind of a neat, benefit to having not the same person for the rest of their life being in charge of our government. So we're going to do another KWL chart. So let's see here. I am going to fill it out on here. Once again, this is the KWL chart is available on on our page, our Schoology page. However, you can always just do a piece of paper like you did last time, KWL, and you can just write it down. So there is no need to do this KWL chart, the specific one. So our topic is the three branches of government. So go ahead and write that down on your KWL chart, and you can pause the video if you need to make your KWL chart. Go ahead. And remember, we talked about last week how we do what I know. So what do I already know about the three branches of government, what I want to know about the three branches of government, and then after we finish this week's unit, we will do what I learned. Now, some of you knew quite a bit about the Constitution, which is awesome. And I think that's probably because we have mentioned it before and it is talked about more frequently. The three branches of government you may not know a whole lot about, and you might, which is awesome. You might not know a whole lot about it, and that is okay. If you only have one thing over here, what you know about the three branches of government, that's okay. You don't have to have a list of a bunch of things that you know. Now, if you've already done research for some reason and you already know a lot about them, then go for it. Write your 5 to 10 things that you already know about it. But remember, this is just to kind of get our background knowledge going. So if you don't have a lot of background knowledge, it is okay to not have a bunch written in this column. Okay, I just wanted to make that clear because I know that this is a topic that even I don't know as much about as I might know about the Constitution or civil rights or things that we've already talked about a lot or a little. So I just want you to try to come up with one thing, just one thing that you know about the three branches of government. I'm gonna give you a hint. There are three branches. That can be something that you know. Or a question that might be able to help you something you do know something else. What document that we already learned about kind of set up these three branches? What really important document that was in the last week? We learned all about it. Starts with a C. What document is that kind of talks about the three branches of government? So that can be one of the things that you know. The Constitution, right? The Constitution, that's what kind of lays out these three branches. So what I know, I know that the Constitution, discusses, sorry, my typing today. Let me move down here. The three branches. Okay, that's one thing that I know. Something else that I know that the president is part of the executive. Hold on, let me move that down too. Is part of the executive branch. Now, it is okay if you don't know what the executive branch is at this point in time. Remember, I have taught this lesson before. I have read about this before, so I do have some background knowledge. Now, that does not mean that I know everything about this topic, not at all. There are people who know a lot more about this than I do. However, I know a little bit about it. I have some background knowledge. So once again, you just need to have one thing written here. I'm writing a few. You only need to have one. I know that the three branches work together. So those are three things that I know about this. As I have said before, don't just copy my answers onto the KWL chart only because that's not going to help you, because that's not what you actually know. That's not your background knowledge. So I would love to hear the one thing that you already know. I will once again put it in the discussion as I did last week, and I'm looking forward to hearing something that you know. So what you want to know. Now, this one, we can all fill out a bunch of things. Now, all I'm asking for is three things on here. Try to come up with three things that you want to know about the three branches of government. That would be any question you have, any question you can come up with, or anything that you don't know. Over here, it's things I know, anything you don't know about the branches. Three branches of government. It could be something as simple as, what are the three branches of government? Simple. If you don't know that, that's an excellent thing to want to know. You can ask, it's pretty much anything about the three branches of government that you are interested in finding out more about. So if you need to, go ahead and pause the video. You can write down your 3 things that you want to know on your KWL chart. Once again, I'll have a spot in the discussion for you to share one of those things that you want to know. So one thing that I want to know is, why are there 3 branches? So, why couldn't there just be one branch? Why did they do it that way? And we're going to find out more about that. Another question that you might have is, what is the job of each of the branches? That might be something else that you want to know. What do they each do? We know that there are 3 branches. What do they each do? They obviously all have to have a job of some sort. Now, I had said here the president is part of the executive branch. So my other question is going to be, who else is in the executive branch? So I want to know who else works with the president. Is it just the president who's in the executive branch, or do they work as a team? Is there someone else who helps him there? Now, I already kind of know one of the other people that might be with him. Think about there's the president and there's someone else who works with him a lot, the vice president. So I know that he probably is also in the executive branch. However, I want to know who else. So these are just 3 things that I want to know. Once again, your things that you want to know might be totally different than what I want to know. And that is 100% okay. There is really no right or wrong answer here, as long as it has to do with the 3 branches of government. You obviously don't want to have a question that's totally off topic and has nothing to do with government. So I am in the discussion. Please put one thing that you want to know, at least one thing. If you want to put more than one thing, that is fine. Like I did last week, I will do my very best to answer some of those questions and some of those things in the comments, or through the video. You might have a lot of those things answered. But it would also be great just for me to know kind of what are you wondering about this topic, and how can I help you learn more about it. So that is pretty much what we have got for today's lesson. So I hope that you enjoyed kind of brainstorming about the 3 branches of government with me. I know that I am really looking forward to this week of social studies with you. The 3 branches of government are really interesting, and there's a lot of information about them. I also have some really fun videos that I'm going to be sharing with you, similar to the video that I showed last week. So I am looking forward to doing that with you. Please make sure you comment in the discussion one thing that you know, and at least one thing that you want to know. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, boys and girls. Bye.